Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to the Suffolk Non-League Show. We are live once again. It is Monday night. I'm so happy to be here. The return of football is finally upon us. We've got a week's worth of training for all of you guys to get in the books. And then Saturday, some of you can start playing football again. A massive relief to a lot of you, I can imagine. Stupidly excited for tonight's show. In fact, there was 25 of you waiting on YouTube for this to go live. That has never, ever happened for any show that we've ever done, including the Matt Blake special. So you can tell how much of you guys are looking forward to tonight. Once again, I am always joined by my colleague and good friend, Mr. Adam Wade. How are you doing, sir? You well?
It's been 100 days since they were last allowed out to play.
Jesus Christ.
100 long days. What a relief, eh?
Yeah.
Something special. Mate. Like, there's a bit of a buzz about social media today. Yeah. Won't hide. There's been some pretty diabolical opinions on social media today as well.
I saw one in particular. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting day, but here we are. Well, I mean, it's just so good, isn't it?
It feels nice. It feels like, although we're not back to normality, it feels like we're getting there. This is like the first optimistic Monday that I've had in a long time. So
yeah, absolutely. Like, and I think like you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that some teams are actually going to hear a whistle and kick off.
Yes.
Shortly after lunchtime on Saturday. Like, how special will that be?
Although people will have to tell us what it's like, because sadly we still can't go. We still haven't received any official wording on whether or not we as media, in inverted commas, are allowed to go. We've been told nothing. So as far as we're concerned, we still categorize ourselves as the spectator part, which is April the 11th or the 12th, I think, is the return date for
2 weeks, isn't it? 2 weeks from now.
So yeah, we'll see on that part.
What's 2 weeks in the grand scheme of things when we've just done 100 days, eh?
Well, now the football's here, it's a bloody long time.
Well,
now that it's back, I'm itching to get going again. But there we go. As always, though, before we get too far into tonight's show, we just want to say a very quick word from our sponsors. A massive thank you to all of our sponsors on the Suffolk Non-League Show: Starting and Lock, Matchday Marketing, GBS, Your Shirts, and Clabber Creative. GBS are a family-run construction company in Ipswich operating nationwide with over 30 years experience, offering fire protection, diamond drilling, commercial building, health and safety, and asbestos removal. Starling and Lock, self-employed electrician in the Stowmarket and Suffolk area since 1989, offering domestic work and certificates for people buying and selling houses. An NIC/EIC member. Matchday Marketing, sports marketing and branding company, helping enhance the image and profile of grassroots and non-league clubs at a very low cost, utilising over 20 plus years in the game. Your Shirts, eye-catching, professional-looking garments for your business, team, club or organisation, with a range of printing methods to cover all individual needs. Clabber Creative is a creative agency based in Framlingham, Suffolk, offering fully managed football club websites. They are about giving your club a professional image and the ongoing support to maintain it. Links for all of these companies will be in the description below. Go and check them out and tell them that D-Jam has sent you. As I always say, massive thank you to all of those sponsors who have kept the show going and pushed us onto the levels that we have done. Just a very quick reminder to let you all know, if you are looking to purchase any of the Suffolk Non-League Show merch, the link is in the description for that. Hoodies, T-shirts, hats, although you won't need the hats in this weather. Jesus Christ, where the hell did that come from? And the Suffolk Non-League Show mugs are now available. Click the link in the description below. And as we always say, a massive thank you to all of our Patreon members and all of our Ko-fi members. We have had 3 new Patreons in the past week. A absolutely massive thank you. And a couple of people have actually messaged me saying that due to the fact that football is now returning, they will be looking to help the show continue to grow. So that really does mean the world to us.
The buffet table at Wanderers is growing.
Yes, that's it. A reminder for those of you who don't know, on the July the 10th, Ipswich Wanderers are hosting Stowmarket, and Ipswich Wanderers have said that they will be putting on something special for all of our Patreon members. So if you want to get yourself into that, you know what to do. Head on over to patreon.com/DJam and sign up like these guys have done. Absolute legends. And of course, to all of our Ko-fi members. And we've had a new name appear on the Ko-fi link, which is absolutely fantastic. We really appreciate everybody who has continued to help support the show. And as always, as well, now the new feature which is available next to the comment section on YouTube, you will see a little $sign. If you want to put something on the show tonight, live on the show, you click that. You can then type your message in and put a little donation towards the channel. We had a couple of people doing it last week, which is amazing. I think this is going to be more popular as we get back into results time. There are some comments that people post that I don't always put up on the screen. If you want your message put up on the screen and it's controversial, in inverted commas, if you put some money towards the show, I have to read it out. Those are the rules. So if you want to slag off a team, if you want to beef up your own support, whatever the case may be, if you want to put something towards it, you can do so. And again, I have to read it out. It's the rules, I'm afraid. So yeah. There we go. So, yeah, massive thank you. And before we get into all of your hellos as well, just one final thing. Wednesday night, myself and Adam are going to be doing a watch along, England versus Poland. If you want to have some company watching the game, make sure you set yourself a reminder. We will be live Wednesday night doing a watch along of that game. And Lewandowski is injured, so there's a fairly good chance that England will be winning. So there we go. Anyway, let's get into...
That was brave.
Let's get into the hello messages because there's absolutely loads of you. Ben Moore, let's go first here as always. Absolutely love that, my man. Your support for the channel recently has been absolutely incredible. Some of your Twitter messages. Keep it up. Really appreciate that, mate. Slim's in the building. Evening, gentlemen. Hope you're both well and looking forward to the weekend. 100%, mate. Absolutely 100%. Stu, Matchday Marketing. Evening, chaps. Hope you're well. Evening all says Shem training tomorrow and Thursday, games Saturday, AM and PM. Football is back, gents. Boom.
Busy week, Shem. Busy week.
100%. Bill Case is here. Evening all for a start of an exciting week. Ryan Johnson is in the building as well. Evening, mate. Michael Crofer is here as well. Good evening, Michael. Irv is in the building. I saw your name on the list of fixtures. Who was it? What game was he refereeing?
It's terrible preparation coming to...
I can't remember who it was. I literally saw it because I was looking at it just a few moments ago. I can't remember who you're refereeing. Tell me who you're refereeing this Saturday. I can't remember who it was. Ben Moore, Blakey on for round 2. I think he would be. He's well up for it. I think he'd love to come back on. Who knows? We might make that a thing. Maybe during the summer, we might make that a bit of a thing. My dad is here. Evening, James. Evening, Adam. Evening, Dad. Hope you're all right. I confess I was one of the 25, says Michael. I love it. Absolutely love the
Good to have you in early, mate.
Ben is in the building as well. Just in from Sixes. It was amazing, says Luke.
There you go.
Evening, Collar. Irv, I was waiting in the wings as well. Ground Top and Mink. Again, thank you so much, my man, for your Patreon donations. Absolutely massive appreciations. And a massive shout out to you. Good man. Says join every committee. You'll be able to attend a game if you want. Yeah, if anybody wants myself and Adam to sign up as COVID officers, I'm well up for it. Get us on board. Us on board.
Are you mad?
Just to join anything. Just to join any 2 games.
I'd rather not COVID officer, please.
I don't mind any way of being able to get into
people will throw that job at you.
Dan Barlow. Even lads, hope you guys are all good. Buzzing to say it is back. Still recovering from my vaccine on Saturday. Well,
I heard you had a bit of a hard
speedy
hit on
recovery,
that one.
mate. Speedy recovery on that one. Dean's in the building as always. Evening, gents. Hope you both well. Evening, guys, says Ryan Gardner. There you go. Somersham versus your shirts on the 10th.
That's a tasty one.
Elmswell versus Hawley. Oh, this is the following one. Jesus Christ. We need some physios on Saturday away at Ufford. Adam, what's your physio knowledge like?
Spray it, chuck some water on it, tell them
magic sponge.
Just get up, run on the pitch, get up. I don't think I'd be very good.
No, No.
I'm not good with blood and stuff, so any cuts or anything.
I was going to make some reference to like doing some deep tissue massaging, but that's just probably not. We're not at 9 o'clock yet. We'll skip past that. We're not past the watershed moments there. So yeah, good to see as many of you are here as possible. It's absolutely fantastic. And as I said, the return of football. Speaking of the return of football, we have some fixtures to talk about, which is just incredible. Some updates from the world of football. This is absolutely incredible. So, a first set of fixtures that we are going to be talking about, obviously, apart from the friendlies that we mentioned last week, that we have. First of all, I think I've brought up the wrong graphic there. There we go. The Junior Cup on the 17th of April. A lot of fixtures are going on that weekend. All 2:30 kickoffs. You've got Ufford versus Stowe Falcons. Wickham Market versus Mutford and Wentham, AFC Yorkshire versus Bacton, Coddenham, Saxmundham, Sport and Tankstone, Needham A versus Waveney A, Elmswell versus Brandon, Stanton versus Exeter, Curtin versus Beckles, Stonham, Lakenheath, and Bungay versus Thurston. So good news. The cup competitions are still going to be going ahead, and we were accused a lot last season of not covering the reserve. So I thought, why the hell not? Today's a big day. Let's chuck the reserve fixtures in here as well. The primary cup fixtures are as follows. We've got Bramford United versus Old Newton A, Claretown Reserves versus Great Blakenham. You've got East Burgoll A versus Barton Mills, Normanston Magpies versus Coddenham Athletic Reserves, and Somersham Reserves versus Kesgrave Kestrels. And then the following Saturday, we have Senior Cup fixtures, which is brilliant. So the big hitters then come out. We've got Step 6 and Step 7 games getting involved, including at the bottom, as you can see, East Burgoll versus Ipswich Wanderers. So Ipswich Wanderers, big fans of the channel. We've got Ransoms versus Bilderson, Leiston versus Beckles, Fram versus Henley, Bennell versus Halesworth, which, I mean, if you'd have said that game a few months ago, that'd have been so tasty. But now, who knows who's going to step up to the mark with only, 2 weeks worth of pre-season games to get yourself going.
This could be anyone's, couldn't they?
Literally, is probably a toss of a coin. I couldn't call it with 2 weeks worth of prep to get yourself kind of going. Hawley versus Lakenheath and Trimley versus Haverhill. And also, we then have the reserves again. Going to give them a shout out. Why the hell not? Stowtown Reserves versus Achilles. Walsham the Willows versus East Burgoll. Claydon versus Witton. Henley versus Trimley. Halesworth versus Woodbridge. Bilderson versus Long Melford. I suppose the big thing there is that we have some fixtures to talk about. Absolutely brilliant news.
Yeah.
But they are coming quite quick, aren't they? As I said, there's only a few weeks worth of prep for these guys. Are you maybe a little bit surprised by the fact that there's only maybe 2 weeks worth of games that they can get in, or do you think it's just a case of, look, if you want these competitions to be played, we need to get them in
absolutely
in a quick time?
Absolutely. Like let's not forget the fact that each of the teams would have been doing a bit of running and stuff before now. So there's a bit to sort of think about where they would have been doing some work on their own, but it really does throw the results open, especially in the Wanderers game. Like, that's going to be like a cup final, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the temptation is there. I'm really sorry, I can't remember who it is they're playing against, but let me bring the graphic. East Burgoll, East Burgoll are going to give absolutely every last fibre on that one. Like, you just know they are. Because what an ideal time to play any team.
Yeah. And you could say the exact same about Hawley as well. Like, for them going against Lakenheath, who are, again, a very competitive, strong team at Div 6.
Great players in that side as well.
Yeah. And again, for Henley going away to Fram, that's not going to be an easy game. But again, a great opportunity to play them. And for Trimley as well.
I think Trimley will fancy themselves for that game, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Really, really do. So, yeah, some big games in there. From the primary cup, from the Junior Cup perspective, again, some big ties. Your Shirts versus Bacton is one that stands out. Sporting versus Tat, actually, a top of the table Div 1 clash. That could be very, very tasty. But as I said,
Sporting have had some big games, haven't they, in that cup? Like their other game was a big one. So yeah, they've had quite a tough draw, really.
Yeah. In fact, we went to watch that, didn't we?
I'm sure it was the cup game one that we watched, because I know they played in the league shortly after.
Yeah, they did. So the main thing is that, as I said, we have some fixtures back. Oh God, I've just seen the comment. Bill Case, thank you very much for your donation. Evening, my name is James. Oh God.
What the perfect thing to use it for.
My dad is watching. He's never going to forgive me for a £5. I've just sold my team out down the river for a £5.
He'll be asking you afterwards why on earth it wasn't that you sort of sent the money back and just didn't show it on screen. God, cheers, Jesus. Bill.
Yeah, massive appreciation, I guess. Superb stuff, love it. Ben, like and subscribe. I knew you'd be clapping. I obviously knew you'd be clapping. Luke Riley, Bungie. Yeah, I bet you're looking forward to that. Absolutely buzzing, mate. Absolutely buzzing. Irv's clapping. Love that. From Jesus. See, this is the problem with being a Norwich fan in a predominantly Ipswich fan base. But there we go. It doesn't matter. Fram versus Henley. Jesus, what a game! Absolutely. Yeah, could not agree more. I think that is going to be very, very tasty. My first competitive game with Ufford, says Slim. Absolutely love that, mate. Agreed. Fram versus Henley. Wow, it should be mental. I'm making a charge in the Super Six if we're back to normality. Yes, yeah. Good luck, Alex. I'll come down. Love this. This is all I'm loving seeing. The fact that fixtures are out.
Loads of support amongst people as well.
Exactly.
It's exciting.
Yeah. What does a dono mean? I'm not sure what that means. Not sure.
Let's move on. He can explain.
Yeah, you'll let us know. Players have been doing 5K runs. My time of 35 minutes is shocking. Yeah, there should be no excuses from a fitness perspective. It's just about how I've seen a few people today saying looking forward to it. I haven't kicked a ball in months, which is interesting. I can't believe people haven't gone down maybe to a park and just done it on their own. I don't know, but there's a lot of people saying they haven't kicked a ball.
I think though, for every person that says they haven't kicked a ball, there'll be a group of people that have been out and have done like the one-on-one sessions. Lots of people actually locally have been offering one-on-one sessions, as well, which has been really good to see. I know Paul Granger's been doing a lot of work, like with youth players and that, like just to try and help them keep going and stuff like that, which has been really good. Who was it that Ufford had again?
Let me bring it back up on the screen.
A few people giving a shout for that.
Yeah, it is.
Stowe Falcons.
Yes, there we go. Yeah. That's a tough game, Div 1 opposition, Stowe Falcons. They're an established Div 1 team.
They've been in the ascendancy this year as well, haven't they? Like, obviously, it's really hard now because you can't go on past performance as to whatever's going to happen in the next couple of weeks or whatever. But teams have got a little bit of time just to screw themselves down and work out what they're doing.
Yeah, and the good thing is that they're playing in the fixtures predominantly that have been set up. A lot of teams have been pitted against each other in terms of their own league positions. So it's not as if they're going to be, playing, Div 1 are going to be playing Div 3 in the friendly, and it's not going to be much of a contest, and it's just there to kind of get your fitness up. You are literally going to be playing against the same opposition you would be, and you then got to get yourself up to speed very quickly.
That's the benefit of the league having arranged these fixtures, though, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Very true.
They've also made sure they're competitive games, and it's not teams turning out after being away for ages, just getting a hiding, because that isn't really the best way to get back, in my opinion. Yeah. After what's happened, like pre-season, there's a bit of a challenge that comes with that, but after what we've gone through, I think it's best to try and keep it to similar levels wherever possible.
Yeah. We've also had another donation from Groundhopper Mick, who just continues to support the show. Absolute legend. Shout out to my beautiful daughter Isabella, who was born 8 weeks premature and has just got her home from the ICU last week. Absolutely
special times, mate.
Love that. Absolutely love that. not only for supporting the show, but that message right there is absolutely class. So congrats. Love it. Absolutely.
Hope everyone's well. And
yes.
I'm sure you'll now be able to catch every single Monday for weeks on end, because you're not going to be doing much else other than feeding.
Yes. Yeah.
Good luck. Children are great.
Yeah. And absolutely loads of congratulations there, messages. And this is what I love about our community. Absolutely love it. Paul Musgrove, come on, Stanton, I'll be walking my dog on the local park. Yes, I think a lot of people will be out exercising, going for a walk. There's no way to police it, is there? Let's be honest.
I don't even reckon Muzzy's got a dog. I reckon he'll just stick a lead around the kids and take them around the local park and try and get away with it.
There you go. Comment
oh, there we go.
You've got a dog. Brilliant. Absolutely love that. Love that. So yeah, as I said, it's just good that we've got some fixtures back in the books. I can't wait to report on some of those, which is just going to be brilliant. It's just, like I said, it's just exciting. I know there was a bit of apprehension from a lot of people talking about if there's no fans here, if there's no volunteers, if there's no bar available, if there's no changing rooms. There was a lot of there was a bit of negativity surrounding last week, and from a few people on social media, and that's their prerogative. If that's how they feel, we're not here to kick down their opinion, because everybody's entitled to it. But there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people.
I do get it, though. I do get it.
Yeah. No, I do.
I'm not going to say I don't get that opinion, because I do understand that there's things that people do football for, like, you look at different levels, and that social aspect of it has been completely removed. We've gone over time and time again about the impracticalities of getting changed in the middle of a field and giving team talks in the middle of a pitch. Like, there are things that just make it not the same game. But I think for every one person that you'll find says that's going to keep them away from it, you're going to probably find 10 that will say, I can't wait to get back. And given the option, they would have jumped straight in.
Yeah.
It's a minority view, but it's one that I completely get. Yeah. And if more people came forward and said the same thing, I'd neither be surprised or disappointed. I'd literally just say, well, look what's happened to the game. Because and if we couple that up with the fact that we've got to be honest, the game hasn't had the best press over the whole of COVID. People just waiting for things to happen, and it hasn't always been sunshine over non-league football. People struggling to survive financially. I think a really good example is Sudbury, very open in the press recently about the fact that all their players are going to have to take pay drops, and they didn't know what that meant for the club. Like, you don't know what you're coming back to, do you?
No.
And that will apply at all levels. And there'll be people that have decided that football's not for them because they've had so much time off and they value that family time. So I expect big changes when we go back.
But like you said, I don't think we're truly going to know the impact of it until maybe a month or so into the new season, when you've had pre-season and the league campaigns are starting to kick off again, and then you'll suddenly look around and realise who's actually there, who's stuck around, who's been up for it, etc., etc. So, as at the moment, it is literally just a guessing game about who's not going to be here, who will be here, etc. But moving forward, I think, as I said, we won't know until further on down the line. But as I said,
what is this time for people then, James? Like, is this pre-season? Is it a post-season? Are people going to go all the way through, or is it just a little bit of football to whet the appetite again, go away, let the Euros happen, then we come back and start all over again? Where are people sitting with that?
I mean, I'd love to know people's thoughts in the comment section right now. If you are one of those people that is involved in the friendlies and the fixtures, etc., what is the main driving force for you? I'd love people to get involved right now. I think for me, it depends on whether or not you're in the cup competitions. If you're in the cup competitions, you've still got something competitive to aim for, and that's your driving goal, to go to a final and win a cup competition. For the rest, it's literally just, I've missed football so much, I don't care what football it is, I just want to play. And there's a lot that can be said for that, for people who say, well, I only go and play for the social aspect or or the drinking side of it, or, you know, to earn myself a couple of quid or whatever the case. For people just to turn around and go, I want to play football. I don't care what it is. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot to be said for that. And I think a lot of people that will be their driving force. But as their cup competitions has got to be a major factor. I mean, what do you make of it?
Well, there's a few things that have gone out. I think Nick Punter, goalkeeper, put out a really interesting tweet yesterday, which I really liked. He said, "I'm happy to be one of the players who doesn't play for money. I just love it. And I can tell you, I cannot wait for Thursday, just for some five-a-side, making some saves and sidewinding all the time. Football." That's the side of it.
Yeah.
And this is it. I can see those people now, given the opportunity and realising what they missed. I don't reckon there'll be too much stop now between now and whenever the new season starts. It'll be more sporadic over summer, because it always is.
Yeah.
But
this is
you kind of think a lot more. You think a bit retrospectively about what we've missed, and do you know what I mean? But I think people will be more willing to give a bit more, just to take advantage of the fact that you can now do it.
This is it. So we've had a few comments coming in. Slim's just said fitness and getting back to normal. Luke has put, just playing football with my mates is enough for me. Dan Barnard, we take each game competitively and gear them up for next season. So different opinions on that one. Ryan Gardner, I think from a player's point of view, it's just been so long, and as much as possible between now and the start of the season, the better, which is a really good perspective.
Yeah, as much as possible. And I know like fans will be keen to watch as much football as possible. Now that's a really, really good trade-off, because teams that want to get a bit of a buzz back, or those that have got the opportunity to earn a few quid, as bars start to be able to open and stuff, they've got a bit of a captive market there to start earning the money.
Yeah, I think what a lot of clubs who are playing fixtures right now, they need to start hyping this up on social media as well. Now is a perfect opportunity to get that buzz and that excitement around the club going again, because understandably, a lot of club social media aspect has just gone absolutely crashing down in these past few months. And it's, now is, as I said, now is the opportunity that if you are involved in fixtures and, you are going to be playing games, etc., get yourself on there, make yourself known, and talk about it. Get as much going as you possibly can, whether or not that's tweets during the game, whether or not it's updates after the match, stuff beforehand, building up the hype before a game, get some pictures on. Whatever the case may be, you have no idea the impact that will have on non-league football. And,
a picture really speaks 1,000 words on it as well.
Yeah.
Actually showing people get back in training and enjoying it and stuff like that. That's the stuff that people are really going to interact with right now.
Yeah. And for anybody who's still sitting on the fence about it, player-wise, coaching-wise, do I come back? Do I not come back? Seeing that on your timeline constantly will just get those people going, oh, do you know what? Get me back in right now. I really want to do it. So, there is that side of things. Shem has put, from a youth perspective, we have been advised to have some form of a break at the end of June for a couple of weeks. The seniors are still discussing plans, etc. Ryan Johnson has said, I love that I got to play football again today because of the way I was on the ground panting like a dog after 5 minutes. Brilliant. Dean Cooper, once the fans are allowed back, there is going to be a hell of a lot more people at local games investing back into grassroots football. 100% agree. Shem, I'm looking to organise senior 7-a-side in the summer if any team's interested. There you go. Contact Shem on social media. Matchday marketing. I've had a few people messaging me today for materials. There you go. People are getting back on that hype already. Absolutely love that. Should we bring up your tweet about what people are looking forward to?
Yeah, have you loaded it all in? Have you got the?
I can bring it. I can bring it up on my screen here.
Something that I just want to quickly do, just whilst you're doing that. As an example, Grumsborough today, they've been pretty busy on socials all the way throughout. But they put a tweet out today saying football's finally back after a 3-month winter break. They've said when the training is, who's taking the training, who their management team are, and pictures to go with it. and I engaged with that like straight away. And it's almost like you've almost got that insight into the club, and you get that vibe for what's going on. And I know it's only a small thing, but if it raises the profile like on a community basis, people think I'll go and check them out.
Yeah,
you could have a few people around the edge of the pitch when it can happen.
That's exactly it. Dan Barnard Barham are back. Love it.
I still don't think they watch. It's such a wasted joke. It's really annoying me.
So Adam put this tweet out earlier on. Players, clubs, volunteers, fans, grounds people, everyone is welcome. Discussion. What are you most looking forward to football? And what are you most looking forward to about it coming back? So Stuart was straight away on there. Getting out the clothes, washing, hanging out, washing, getting in the washing, folding the washing into piles, hoovering, dusting, and other crap I shouldn't ever be involved in. Brilliant. Ben Moore, get back into coaching and gaining more experience. Connor Ellis, listening to Michael Crover asking what colour we're playing in.
Absolutely legendary story.
Brilliant. That's almost as bad as my dad at Yarmouth.
It was literally the same thing happened, but just at Stanway with Michael. I don't know how long in the game he actually followed the wrong team for, but the amount of players he sponsors, you'd think he'd know which ones are his.
Well, I must have told you this 100 times. My dad, when we went to watch a Yarmouth game, and sorry, Dad, if you're still in the chat right now, if you're still listening, he got about halfway through during the first half, and obviously this was Yarmouth. We had a few drinks and whatnot. He turned around to me and went, "Still playing crap today, aren't they? They're really, really bad today." I said, "No, they're not. They're playing really well." He went, No, they're really bad. I was like, you do realise they're in red, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, we are really good, aren't we?
Like, as much as we all like Yarmouth, you do need a telescope to see anything in detail at the far end of the pitch.
True,
you're a long way away, but it's a classic ground. You can't take anything away from it. What a place.
This is it. Looking forward to football without VAR, says Bill.
Absolutely.
Interpretation of the law, the discussion with managers and players about decisions, elbows at the end of the game. Yeah, love that. In a pear tree, love this. I would like I'd like to listen. Got a five-a-side at the end of it. Love that. We've Clark Bruce's hair.
How much has it grown in lockdown?
Christ, I dread to think. The pre-match build-up, talking to players, chanting and singing through the game, the scenes when we score, and the overall family feeling of Bloomfields. Love that. Simply football, says Christian.
Love it, Christian.
Ground up and Mick, the feeling of normality, getting closer, just knowing I can get out there and watch a game of football.
That's quite a big one. The fact that all of these little indicators are just like normality is coming.
Yeah.
I know we're not on a fixed timeline, but every single one of these little gates we pass through, like it started with kids going back to school, and I know that made a lot of people quite nervous. Yeah. But we've done it, and we're on to the next one. And today is the rule of 6 or whatever it is outside, rule of 6 or 2 households, and we can meet up with more people, and that's enabling competitive sport to go back as well. So it is really good.
This is it. Kim, listening to the changing room banter between the lads, socialising, talking to fans, laughter and excitement. That the changing room thing is a massive part of it, isn't it? Obviously, we don't get to experience that, but the amount of people that say that the changing room part of it is the driving force that gets them to a game. So yeah, hopefully, when people can get back into a changing room facility, we'll get that back. Waking up with a few nerves on a Saturday morning. Love that. Atmosphere, the fans, talking points, goals, everything.
I know Lee's quite highly involved with different clubs in terms of getting stuff out. And again, like us as a content creator, I should imagine he's massively missed it.
Yeah.
100%. And it'll just be so good when we can actually get out to a game. I'm not even that worried about filming a game. I just want to see some people that aren't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'll be trying to get my filming sort of done, but I think probably the first few games I might just literally just go back just to stand there and just enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
Put a comment on it later. I can imagine your Steadicam is going to be a bit rusty, James, when it comes back to actually going back.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out, won't we? Slim, just have to say, local football wouldn't have been in people's minds as much if it wasn't for. Oh, sorry, if it wasn't for you guys. And I think I speak for everyone here when I say a massive thank you. No worries, mate. We just wanted to keep the party going. That was the main thing about why we continue to do this throughout lockdown. We just wanted non-league football to be relevant. And as I tweeted out earlier on, when others quit, when others gave up, handed in the towel, we were here every week, and we just wanted to make sure that we gave you guys something to look forward to, something to go towards. This, for a lot of people was the Saturday. This was their equivalent of the Saturday morning, getting, gearing up for a game on the afternoon. It can't ever replace it, but I'm glad we were able to help in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, it was fun. I think your dad's disowned you, mate. After the fight, he probably has. To be fair, he probably has. That was enough, to be honest. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely brilliant, absolutely buzzing. I just can't wait for football. We have got our guest waiting in the wing, so I'm going to bring him on in a few minutes. And fingers crossed, the connection works. Fingers crossed. I'm very, very hopeful that it does work.
Should we get the Super 6 spliced in now?
Yes.
Would that be a good idea? Might be a little bit of excitement in the chat around the Super 6.
Yes. Good point. Whilst you hype it up, the Super 6.
Yeah.
Let me get the wheel ready.
Oh, yeah. That's
all I'm going to say, guys. Let me get the wheel ready.
A wheel is required. I haven't got my MacBook here to be able to look at the results off the top of my head, but everyone scored really, really well again. Unless you were really in the sort of top 10 last week, then there was only a couple of good scorers, but people moved places massively. I don't know if he's in tonight, but Tony Stone hit a 9 or something ridiculous, and moved all the way up the tables. So loads and loads of movement on the charts. Also, Non-League Football Shop have agreed to sponsor next month's competition for a monthly prize.
Yes,
so we can keep another monthly prize going. They're finalising what the prize is going to be, but we're probably going to swap a shirt out for something different next month, just to keep it fresh, really. But yeah, big shout out to Non-League Football Shop, because as a company that only started about 3 months ago when I first contacted them, they've done amazing things to help us, and their business is growing at a frightening rate as well. So please check them out, because the non-league shirts and that they're getting out to people are fantastic, and people are buying into it, and they're reinvesting the money back into local clubs, buying their stock directly from local clubs. So important. So yeah, we see you, Dean. We see you. Super 6, Ipswich let you down again. If people will go for Ipswich to win, I've got no
more for you.
Yeah, I literally just don't bother. Yeah, not worth it.
Love that, Michael. Absolutely love that, mate.
That
is such high praise. I remember him calling me that a couple of years ago, and I loved it. Still do. So here are the monthly results for March. Top 2, Dan Barnard and Mark Guttridge. Wow, unbelievably close.
But look how many points everyone scored on that table this week.
So consistent.
Yeah.
So consistent. That's incredible.
Tony had a terrible start, absolutely ramped it up, and wasn't that far away either. But Dan and Mark, congratulations and well played. We only have one shirt, so it will go to the wheel. Michael, very unlucky not to be on there. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, definitely unlucky.
But yeah, it's there was almost the embarrassment when I thought that I'd got another 3 points than what I actually got. But yeah, I thought I'd put Cambridge down as a 2-1 and Ipswich as a 0-0. And I hadn't, so I got caught out and just got under. I got a bit excited, and then I had that thing of, oh no, if my points work out to be what they are, I'm just going to chop my name off. I think Dean Cooper null and void it. Michael Grover's bold.
Connor Ellis, Michael Crofer has bottled it. Love that. I don't mind reading that donation out. Sorry, Michael. I know you're a massive fan of the channel, but I don't mind reading that out at all. Thank you so much, Connor. That is absolutely brilliant. Look, Dan, good to be involved, come win or lose. Look, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out a runners-up prize because we did it for February. I'm going to do the same for March.
So we can dip in and find something.
I'm going to dip my hand in my own pocket and give away a runner-up prize to whoever does finish runner-up.
Can't wait for the runner-up to get a Norwich scarf.
Or a Norwich shirt from the 90s in a medium size that I don't fit into anymore, just as a handout. Yeah.
A Norwich mug with a large chip in the corner.
I tell you what, Michael, third prize, I will buy you a pint at the next Stowmarket game I see you at. There you go. There's your prize. I'll give you that. You can write that one down and remind me. So yeah, there you go. That's my prize too. Yeah. I tell you what, let's get the wheel up on the screen. And do.
Is it a different wheel to last time, or is it a new one?
No, it's the same one. It's the same one.
Spin that baby.
Let's get rid of the graphic. Here we go. So, Adam, tell me when to go.
I was just going to sit there for ages and mug you off.
I thought you were. Here we go. Who is going to win it?
Oh no!
Mark has won. Oh, Dan, I
love that.
I feel for you,
Dan. You've just conceded a 90th minute own goal.
Oh, mate!
Mark's going to be dancing around the room on that one.
Oh, Jesus Christ! That was unbelievably close. I can't believe how tense that was. That's mental. Dan, as I said, I will contact you in the upcoming days when me and Adam will have a bit of a chat offline, and we'll see. We'll come to something that we can figure out. And I'll message you and we'll sort something out, mate. Don't worry about it.
More excitement in that than the England San Marino game the other night.
Yeah, you're telling me. Jesus Christ, that was a long night. That was a very, very long night. But yeah, congratulations to Mark. Well done. Congratulations. Absolutely love that. That was so big suspense there. So this is what it means to the overall table.
Get rid of Dan's name.
Yeah. Any big changes?
Okay, so the big change. Oh goodness me, that's a horrible thing to say. There's a few things that I want to address this week. Craig Chidlow enters every single week and puts 2-1 for every single result.
Really?
A home win, 2-1. So if you're thinking of trying to hack it, a home win 2-1 every single week will get you to about 28th place. So, you know, like as I said before, like Tony Stone, massive movements. Another thing I decided this week is that we'll give prizes to first, second, and third place in this.
Nice.
We'll divide it down because it's been a season-long thing. Everyone's entered in, and it is so tight around those areas. It's going to keep it competitive. But Spreads does continue to have his lead chipped away at a little bit by people. So Colin Weston was a massive mover this week, getting himself up to 50th in the chart. I think he got 8 points. So that pulled him up the league. And the one thing I want to say is it has happened, but your dad has taken over you, James.
Yes, I did see that. Well, we're on the same points. So it's not quite technically overtaken, but yes, I get your point.
He's overtaken you in my eyes. So yeah, he's got the lead on you now. How am I?
How, Ben? He organises it. That's how. That's how he's in the top. That's how he's in the top 6. Mate.
I'll tell you what it is. I'm not too bad at gambling. That's what it is, and that's why I don't take part in gambling activities.
Yes, Dan, love that.
So yeah, lots of movement. Ryan Gardner, I think, has crept up every single week for a few weeks, and has been, you know, with a bit of upwards movement. But then There's a few people that didn't get their results in, so Sean Watson didn't get his in, and that's allowed a few people just to chip away. And that top 10 is going to chop and change quite a lot, I think.
Yeah, unbelievably close, isn't it? So we'll post this out during the week, but here are the fixtures for this week. I'm going to put that into the comment section right now. If you want to get involved in this week's, and again, not only for the overall league table, but for now for April's competition for non-league shirt, which is absolutely incredible. Thank you very much to those guys for continuing to help out, sponsoring giving away that prize, which is absolutely fantastic. We've got Preston versus Norwich, Ipswich versus Bristol Rovers, Cambridge versus Morecambe, Bolton versus Colchester, Southend versus Carlisle, and Kings Lynn versus Altrincham. Just a very, very quick message on this one. The Preston, Ipswich, Cambridge, and Bolton games are all Friday 3 p.m. kickoffs. So you have to get your predictions in before Friday at 2:00. We will post this out on social media throughout the week, but a reminder, Friday, 2:00. So click the link, do it now so you don't miss out on getting your points on the board. Dean, I have absolutely no idea where Vinny's gone. I'm sure when the fixtures come back, he'll be well up for it. But maybe without the fixtures there, there's not an awful lot for him to say. I don't know, but we'll find out.
Vinny likes winding people up based on results. He's very good at it.
Oh, 100%. Can you imagine him with the super chat? Jesus Christ. He's going to go absolutely mental. The opportunity just to slag off someone that I have to read out. He's going to go mental in it. So yeah, there it is. Super 6. Is there any point me doing this? Yes, mate. You're above me. There you go. There's your motivation.
So are most of the people that have entered in the last 15 weeks.
Yeah, all right. Calm down. Jesus.
I still remember you targeting top 20. So
yeah, that's just a pipe dream. It's like Ipswich targeting the playoffs. It's not going to happen.
No, that's true. There's some bankers in those fixtures, though, don't you think? This week?
Yeah, probably.
That Bolton v Colchester. Well, I can tell you what's going to happen there, and it's not going to be a Colchester win. So yeah, there's a few. There's big points for grabs this week, I think.
Definitely, 100%. Right. Let's bring on our guest, and fingers crossed the connection is working. He's shaking his head. Let's find out, shall we? Let's find out.
See if we can get him in.
Yes, 100%. I'm delighted to be able to say that the recently appointed first-team coach at Thurston FC, he's been patiently waiting the entire evening, is Terry Foreman. Terry, how are you doing, mate? You well?
I'm good, lads. You?
Yeah, not too bad. We've got a bit of a delay, but it's not as bad as earlier. You should have seen us trying to speak to each other before the show went live. So how are you, first of all? How's lockdown been?
I've been lucky enough that I've been working, so I can't really complain. Just want to get back to watching some football, to be honest. That's what I've missed the most, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And as we mentioned, you're back in the coaching game with Thurston. What was it about the role? What was it about the club that made you get back into it?
Well, I don't know. Well, I played for Thurston. For most of my adult, career, if you like, if you can call it a career. I've managed them.
Right.
Yep.
We'll go into that. And then I go and watch them pretty much every week anyway. And Luke just messaged me saying, we're looking for someone. Do you fancy it? So
jump at it.
Spoke to the missus. Said, look, I want to give up Saturdays and help the lads out. And she said, yeah, go for it. So can't wait to get started, to be honest.
How long ago was it that you were sort of last managing in there?
Like mad. 2009, 2010.
Right. Wow, so quite some time then. Have you ever had kind of other roles?
Yeah. Season. So I've managed about 4 years ago. My next door neighbour asked me to help their little child out at the under 10s at Thurston. So I done them for a year, and apart from that, no, nothing else really.
Right,
just playing.
Loads of playing. And I think from what I understand, like you pretty much went through from juniors all the way through with Thurston, all the way through. Did you? Where else sort of had you played, or was that literally everything was there and you've got the Clubman Award in the bag?
Listen, I did actually have a season or two at Emswell as well, which I don't really like to talk about, but there you go.
For obvious reasons. For the other side. Yeah.
Most of my adult career was at Thurston, so let's not.
We'll leave the Emswell stuff to one side.
No, it's not very popular on the channel. Let's just leave it at that.
There's a bit of, it's the local derby. Talk about rivalry. People always, I think the lads now, they all say Emswell, but for me, it never was, because Emswell weren't in the same league as us. We didn't get to play them that much. They were so, they were Div 3 at the time, I think.
Right.
And we were Div 1, so we never really played. Stanton for me was the big local derby, if you like.
Yeah.
You mentioned just before that you've obviously managed the first team before. Can you talk to us a little bit about that experience and what made you first of all go into that role? How did your time there go, and kind of why did you end up stepping down and leaving, etc.?
So the manager at the time, Trevor Wright, he'd probably been doing it for about, 10 years or so, a little bit stale. And a few of the lads were like, look, we're not going to play if Trev does it and all this. And I was like, we don't want to lose the group of lads we've got, because we had a good group of lads. So I put my name meeting and I got in. I got Paul Davies to come and sort of help me out, and he's like UEFA B qualified. He's a top coach. Wow. And we had the best season first I've ever had in SIL Division 1. We actually finished joint second with Stanton. They went up on goal difference.
Oh no! Like with them being,
as you can imagine,
them being a big rival. How was that at the time? That must have been horrible.
Oh yeah, painful. And they're obviously still now in Div 1 as well. And they're in the seniors, aren't they? And we're just struggling like mad at the moment. It was hard.
Yeah. I can't imagine, like, when it comes down to goal difference to get promoted after a whole season, it's the shoulda, woulda, couldas, I suppose, and that's all you're thinking about for days and possibly weeks afterwards, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Nathan, the goalkeeper we had at the time, he's a bit of he's been at Thurston a long time. The last couple of games, he had a couple of howlers, and he'd been probably the standout player. And I wouldn't say he cost us. That's not fair, but he definitely let us down in the last two games, which was not good.
tough to take.
Tough to take, yeah.
So what?
The reason.
Sorry, go on, mate.
Oh, go on.
I was just going to say. So what's been the driving force to come back then? Obviously, having all the time playing for the club, and then for managing it, and then stepping away. Why now? Why is it important for you to come back and help out the club now?
When you play football all your life, and then you just step back. Mickey G once told me, "You're a long time retired," and at the time I was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna, give it up." But you miss it like mad, and if I could still play, I would now. I think won't allow it. So, and then like I say, I go and watch them every week, pretty much anyway. And I just want to be more involved. The changing room for me is a massive thing. I know a few of the other lads have said it before. Yeah, being in that changing room is a massive thing.
Yeah. What's the thing that you're most looking forward to, sort of getting your heels dug into, and going back to that environment? You've got an opportunity now to really live it again.
Just
and get
stay, if you like.
Yeah.
Just working with Luke and Jack. We're all different. all going to have different ideas. So hopefully us three are going to. And just not the day to day, but obviously not the day to day, but the match day, as you like, just the buzz, the banter, just all of that. Really, I just can't wait to get back.
Do you think that like the lockdown and everything else that's happened has kind of made that all appeal a little bit more, because it's an enhanced opportunity to have more social contact with the lads? And do you know what I mean? Or do you think you would have found yourself back in football very soon, regardless of what would have happened?
Well, I always said that I would get involved at one point, and now the little one's at that age where, I wouldn't say she can look after herself, but the missus said, yeah, go for it. So, yeah, just maybe lockdown has enhanced it. I was always going to at some point, and why not now?
Yeah, absolutely fair enough. We've already getting some questions in for you, which is absolutely fantastic. This is Luke Classic. Who's your broadband with, so I can avoid that?
I have no idea, but it is absolutely terrible. It's so stuttery. It's unreal.
Dan Barnard has put, I've seen the under-16 first team last season. There's some real good footballers in there, especially their striker. Will you be pulling them through? I suppose.
Good discussion to have around this, pulling juniors up.
With your role and how much you've been involved with the club and seen them, etc. Have you had an opportunity to see much of the youth football? Have you been primarily focused on the first team from a viewing perspective?
I've only seen the youth as in like if you can call it last season. We've had a few of the under 16, under 18s actually play some games, 2 or 3. I mean, they're only 16, but they were getting stuck in like men, So I think that's a good sign. Yeah, it might be that Saturday mornings I think they play it and watch them, see who could maybe make the step up. So yeah, definitely. But the under 16s have got a good team.
Love that. You were just about to say there, Adam. I think in terms of getting the youth players into the team, is that? I mean, obviously, I know Thurston are quite heavy on that as a whole club. Anyway, they like to go down that youth policy. Is that something you're going to actively try and get, your side of things into, or what have you been brought in for? Are you there for more of a kind of senior head and advice part of it, or are you there from a actual coaching on the ground perspective?
Definitely more senior. Like I say, I had the season with the under 10s, which was good. I enjoyed it overly, just because you got about 20 kids. It's just so hard to
that age,
get your message. Yeah.
Like with the
so no, definitely with the senior, coaching side, hopefully, and
I was going to say, bringing the juniors through, like paths to the first team is something that's in the news at the moment quite a lot. Do you think that is it a different challenge integrating those younger players into a group of seniors, or does it just happen fairly seamlessly when they're brought in? Is there something else there that's obviously, having managed before as well, you may have seen that challenge previously?
Well, I'd done that challenge. I was a 16-year-old lad when I went into the first team. So I think it just happens. I don't think there needs to be any more. I think you're chucked in at the deep end, if you like.
Yeah. Do you think there's like too much of a meal made of it all then sometimes? Because I do you just hear too many people say, they need to learn to work their way in and stuff. Do you think like if you give people their opportunity, they'll grow into it and fill it?
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely spot on. If you're good enough, doesn't matter how old you are. So
yeah. I think it's an interesting one to look out for, because I noticed Felix Stowe have just renamed their reserve sides as an under 23s side to give a progression path. And I think it's a bit of a mad one, but I don't think it's as glamorous to play for a reserve side at that level, I think, is sort of where they were going with it all. But I think that if we can, I don't know, it'd be good to track a few players to know that they've been able to just drop into first teams And I know there were some young lads playing when we went to Seafirsten, weren't there?
Yeah, there were. Yeah,
and they didn't look out of place. One of the things I would say is you mentioned how they just fly into things. Like they definitely didn't hold back when they got on the pitch, in a game that was against rivals. So it was impressive, and it took away that thing of, he doesn't look big enough.
Yeah.
It took away that initial thing of like when he ran on the pitch, you thought, Christ, he's small. You didn't notice it when he got out there.
No.
Love that. We've had one question which from Ben. I'm going to just say I'm just going to save that one for a little bit later on. He did send me actually a question earlier on in the week. He put on there because Luke, Ben's quite a he's a young coach and he's looking to gain as much experience as possible. From your time of coaching and being in management, what advice would you give to somebody like Ben, who's working his way up the ladder? What's your kind of tips for him?
Well, yeah, you got to make sure you're enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, then. And is he at a club been involved with, or is he just literally coming in?
He's at Soham at the minute, isn't it?
Like
you. Ben is at Soham. He's at a club already, so he's into the youth levels of football. But it's a question that he asks on a regular basis, just to try and absorb as much information as possible.
Try and get. Yeah, I've only had the one season with the youth. It's kind of hard, and I was kind of asking from his point of view. Yes, it's a tough one. He's got to make sure he's enjoying it, because if you're not enjoying it, then there's no point. A bit like your football, to be honest.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, there you go. From Southampton Rangers under 12.
Under 12s.
Yeah, I thought it was. I did have a question that come through on Instagram when I posted this out, saying what has been your happiest moment in football?
Happiest moment in football. It's going to sound a bit cheesy, but there's probably 6 or 7 of my best mates. We played from under 12 all the way up to first team, and just getting to play with them every weekend was, we've had the cup finals and bits and pieces, but just playing with my mates every Saturday was, if you like.
It's interesting. We had quite a big discussion on it last week, didn't we? About how people are now choosing that path and seeing the benefit of just having a good time and winning things together. When you were with your friends, was your football a lot more fulfilling as well on a personal level as such?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we had probably my mates who could have played at a high level and got paid to play, if you like, but they didn't want to. They wanted to play with the mates, and we just had a great time,
Yeah.
Won some stuff. Definitely. I think too many people, big time Charlies, just go for the money and go from club to club to club, whereas we didn't have that. We had probably the same 12 players for 10 years, maybe.
Yeah. It makes a big difference, I guess, as well, to cohesion.
Massive difference, massive.
Yeah. You don't hear of it though anymore. You genuinely just don't. You just don't seem to see that anymore. Like I say, everyone's fond of a tracksuit, shall we say?
Yeah. And also the other local team and the MJ, they're all the same. They kept the main.
Oh. No, go on, mate.
Like, we all kept, there was the core of the team, if 7 or 8, and then they'd had a few more in, but it was just the core.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that.
Makes a huge difference.
We've we asked this question a couple of other times with other people who've been on, and particularly from an SIL perspective. What do you make of the league right now and the current position that we are in compared to when you were playing in the league? How does it compare for you as somebody who has been involved in terms of playing and then going on to then managing and then being a spectator of it? Have you noticed a dramatic change between the standards of football from back till now?
massive. Yeah, massive. Massive change. I think the standard is throughout the whole leagues has gone downhill. Yeah, I don't know if it's the academies at the bigger clubs they're taking more of the players, but there's definitely been a drop in the standard.
It's interesting.
You're not the only, been a massive drop. And from when I played and watching them now, it's
like you're definitely not the only person to put that view across either. It's something that we get quite consistently, but people sort of feel in the last year or two it started to pick up again. But it's hard to know that because I definitely haven't been following like SIL for long enough to have any idea of what it used to be like compared to now.
Yeah, it's definitely, I'd say in the last 5 or 6 years, it's dealt. And what effect in that? I think it is. They have under 18s, under 23s. I mean, what's that about? At Thurston, we had 16, 17-year-olds, and we've still got 16 in the first team.
Yeah. It's just it's a way for a lot of clubs of kind of like pulling people in, isn't it? It's about getting those teams and everything set up so that they've got those catchment of players. It's like you could compare it to like the Man Cities and Chelsea.
Definitely.
It does. It seems to be happening quite a lot at our level of football as well. And, you can't begrudge the top teams for doing it because that ultimately is a way of them trying to get people into their first team. But like you say, as a result, for other clubs and other leagues, it then has a bit of a ripple effect, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think personally, definitely not. They're ruining the non-league football, if you like. The lower SIL teams are definitely suffering.
Yeah,
and we definitely haven't got the players that we had when I was playing.
And one of the big things as well about the SIL is that we saw it fairly recently, probably about a month or so ago, when Grunsby started sending out those tweets of the league tables from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and reminders of the number of teams that were in here. And we've seen
fascinating, weren't they?
Naturally a dramatic drop off in the number of teams.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think? I mean, there's a number of factors that could go into it, but why do you think the number of teams has dwindled down in such a dramatic way? Because when I saw that, I couldn't believe the number of teams that are just no longer here. It was remarkable.
I don't know where all the players have gone. I think when we was in SIL 1, I think there was 7 leagues and there was the reserve leagues.
Yeah.
So I don't know where all these players have gone. Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know.
It's a strange one. I don't know.
I don't know whether or not it's that next generation thing. Is that what are we doing to engage that next generation of people to be coming through? Because those teams that were there before could have been there for a period of time, and et cetera, but I don't know whether or not it's something. I don't know whose responsibility it is, but maybe that is the problem, is that next generation of kids are just simply not coming through to those teams. I don't know.
The problem is, I think there's too many other things you can do now. I think when we were younger, I'd just always be out playing football.
Yeah.
If I was that age again now, I know that isn't what I'd be doing. You get, guilty for it myself. You get I watch a lot of YouTube, but you get people that are 8 years old, are YouTube sensations with millions and millions of subscribers. They never need to do another thing.
Yeah, there's one 8-year. There's one 8-year-old who's done it with $1 million. You're thinking, what?
Yeah.
Why is he not kicking a football?
That's it. And what's the encouragement to go outside and just play football with your mates if you can sit there on FIFA with a headset on? And the problem will become generational again, because we've just gone through a big lockdown period where kids haven't gone out again, and they'll still question themselves as to, well, why should I bother now? I've got on all right for the last 6 months or a year. I say 6 months, it has been a year. So there are probably generational issues in there, but I hope that it doesn't mean progressively we get less and less. But we're not seeing new teams set up really and introduced to the SIL. We see more fold. And
worse.
That's a concern, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, massively. Yeah, massively.
Slim's put on here. I think as well how the cost of living has gone up. People are more committed to work more on a Saturday as well. It's a very, very valid point. A very valid point on here. He's put retired or have kids is and another point on here. Ben's put, is the quality going up with some furlough none players starting to play SIL? I mean, your thoughts, Terry?
I wouldn't really know, to be honest. I can't believe there's many furlough none playing in SIL Division 3, so I can't say I've seen. I don't know SIL Div 1 and Div 2. It can only improve the league, can't it, if that is the case?
Yeah.
I think maybe we'll start to know more as the summer progresses. Maybe when this season is officially said and done, and clubs are allowed to start moving and start getting players involved, etc. Because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, etc. over the past few weeks have been saying, "Oh, I guess we're allowed to start tapping up players now, are we?" There's already those kind of conversations going on in the background in prep for next season. So who knows? Maybe people's commitment levels and things have changed.
Is there going to be the money about in the higher leagues? Are people, are the clubs going to have the money?
Absolutely not.
Money to spend on all these? I don't know. Yeah,
I can see that being one of the big factors where people decide to say, "Do you know what? For the difference, that's where they start to tumble down a little bit and start to play more with their mates than they do." But again, it's hard because you've still got that thing of play as high as you can for as long as you can, which will be in a lot of players' mentality as well. But I think going back from
the £25 a game or whatever it is,
whatever it turns out to be, it's amazing what you can get some people.
Yeah, is it worth it? Time to take your fuel out and.
So all beer money for after.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Sorry.
I said it's amazing what you can get people out of bed for, and it's all beer money for after the game with a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
So we had this discussion a couple of weeks, or maybe last week. I can't quite remember now. But Shem's put on here the lack of volunteers. Also, some clubs have the same person doing multiple roles. I mean, for yourself, who's someone who's has been involved at the club and has continued to go watching. Has that side of things ever been of an interest to you to help out maybe off the field in terms of the club as well? Because that does seem to be a massive issue. And when we spoke to Peter from the Furlough None, he was highlighting this point as a big reason why clubs are struggling.
Yeah, I think having played and then managed and then players just expect to come and play and think that's it. There's nothing else going on. There's so much going on behind the club. If you haven't got that structure, chairman, etc., then the clubs they don't run, do they?
No.
And that's a bit annoying with the players because I don't think they. I think Thurston are quite lucky that we have got a good backroom staff, if you like. But yeah, we could always do with more. We have had the same people. Are we going to get new people? I don't know. You'd think the size that Thurston's grown in the last 10 years that we'd have more people trying to get on board. But
I think for me, what I don't get is that, and I don't see is like what the future planning is, because it's great to have a brilliant setup now, and it's just having those people in place that will be able to do that role when someone passes the baton as such. And I think that you probably see it that other clubs fold at that level, and then all of those players maybe filter out of the system, and it goes back to the other conversation we were having, because all of a sudden someone that was key and pivotal to the running of the club decides that it's not going to work for them anymore. No one else wants to take the responsibility on or has already been prepped for it, and then everyone drifts.
Cedars in
great example.
Classic example there. One person decided they couldn't do it on the committee anymore. The whole admin side of it fell apart. Players for whatever reason couldn't or didn't want to step up, and then the whole squad's gone. Fantastic club, fantastic facilities, and
facilities. Yeah,
so fantastic. It was a great place to have set up there, but like you say, unfortunately, is no more. Stowe Town A, I think, have got that, or Stowe United, one or the other. So yeah.
There you go. If you're looking for 2 more committee members, I know of 2 that would love to be on board. There you go. I'm not sure who they're referring to, but yeah, love that. That's good. That's good work.
Get in contact.
Turn this into a recruitment session.
Nice. We'll talk about a little bit of because Shem's brought up a really good question for next season moving forward for you. He said, with the caliber of teams in Division 2, what would be a good season for Thurston next year?
We're going to lose a couple of players to university, a couple of good players. I wouldn't say we're struggling for players, but we could do with adding a few. Obviously, we'd like to get, promoted. I think maybe mid-table would be a good season, and then maybe the season after build and just keep building. It is going to be tough next year, so we'll have to see. But yeah, I think it would be a good season for us.
But I suppose that is ultimately what you not what you get or not what you pay for. I'm trying to think of a way of being able to word this, but this is what you should ultimately expect when you are the club that Thurston are, in terms of wanting to play so many of the youth players, getting so many players from their youth setup in the first team as possible. I suppose that is the risk and the reward, isn't it? Is that you don't know ultimately how these guys are going to do until you chuck them in, and it's literally a sink or a swim moment. So for a club that wants to do things the right way, ultimately it is literally
just a natural byproduct, isn't it?
This is it.
There's parts of that, I guess, as a club you can't worry about too much, and you've kind of got to let people go and do their thing. But it just means there's a constant recruitment challenge, would you say, just to keep the wheels turning on that?
Yeah, definitely. When you get these 16s in and they're good, and then most of them, I'd say probably 80%, are going to go to university, and they are going to be back now and then, but have them in the team. So it's just a constant wheel, if you like. So again, this year I think we've got some under 16s, under 18s. A few of them are going to come in this year. They're probably going to be going off to uni. So it's a circle, and we just got to deal with it. Really, not a lot we can do about it.
I suppose the best thing is that you can send them away for 3 years and then get them back full of pot noodles, and they'll be one of the big boys ready to go again back in the team.
But then they've been on the piss for 3 years and they don't want to play football.
At that point, they're just like anybody else, that just wants to play. They fit right in.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
The 2 volunteers that Dan was referring to earlier, he meant me and Adam.
Cheers, mate.
Is it you two?
Yeah,
cheers, Daniel.
I'm not quite ready to settle down with a club just yet. I'm enjoying myself far too. I mean,
earlier on you said you want to be a COVID officer, so there you go. No one else wants that job. James will be a COVID officer.
Yeah, no, but I want to be signed up to everyone's COVID.
You just want a chance to disinfect some balls.
Jesus Christ! Only you.
That's another.
Yeah, well, Slim's put on here. As soon as you get the youth in at a lower first team, it can be a struggle to keep them as higher clubs start coming in from. Again, I suppose that is also a
success story, though, isn't it? As well,
you start exposing them to first team football. There's always the potential that they could be scouted and poached and taken away, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely, especially when you've got sort of local rivals that are a couple of league. That could happen, but hopefully they're going to be thirsting for and not want to go elsewhere. I mean, we'll have to see. But If it was, he wouldn't go and play for Stanton, and I'm hoping that his boys won't either. But you don't know, do you? If we're struggling and they want to go and win matches, they might be tempted.
Yeah, this is it.
But
Lee's asked a question on here. Says, do clubs think the SIL support them enough, or offer encouragement to progress and develop? This might be a bit of a difficult question for you to necessarily answer because you're only just coming back into the club and into a role, etc. It's a good question for. I mean, again, if people in the chat want to answer this question, it's a great one to ask, because we had this discussion last time about the amount of SIL clubs that are wanting to progress and go up to the furlough none. There doesn't seem to be that many people, or that many clubs rather, wanting or being able to take those steps up. Don't know. I mean, do you have any thoughts on it?
I think, well, we're obviously miles away from, it's just down. It's going to be down to money, isn't it? Unless you've got a wealthy chairman or whatever who's going to plough some money in, then you're not going to, are you? I don't think.
No. The amount of things that you need to get,
the financial of it are just massive. And just going back to, if we'd have gone up when we drew with Stanton on points, we wouldn't have gone up anyway because we didn't have the facility.
Oh no! Oh, that's a killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that. There was a question earlier on. We might as well chuck it in now. Actually, it was from Ben. He said, "You're 1 to 11 of players you've managed / played with." It's a hell of a question to ask,
especially when someone's been at a club for so long.
That's as well.
Played with that.
Oh
group.
Wow. Yeah. So my goalkeeper's going to be Nathan Francis. Played with him for 10 years. Left back. I think the best left back I've played against is probably Dan Hayswood, Stanton. Centre backs, Paul Brand, who I was a centre back. So Paul Brand was me part, as you like. He was absolutely woeful on the ball, but for last ditch tackles and reading the game, he was superb. So he'd be in the centre back. Nathan Clark, the best centre back, the best player I've probably seen. So he'd be my centre back. Right back, Richie Sadler. He's a mate of mine. Played with him for 10 years plus. Midfield, I'd have a 3. So it'd be my brother Nutsy, Grant Gooch, and Adam Clare. Again, played with them for 10 years.
Is your brother still involved?
It's got to be Brett Gooch. He's an absolute. No, he probably hasn't played for 3 or 4 years as well. Yeah. We're a lot older now, so we can't do it.
He doesn't do any of that.
And then up front, I'd have Brett Gooch. His boy is Archie. He's about. He'll be 7, so it might be that my cousin is actually getting involved with it, so it might be that he gets involved. So up front, so Brett Gooch, Northie, Charlie McDowell, and the Thurston boys will get that.
Love that. I'm just trying to get some of my my Instagram questions up on it, because I had quite a few that came. I had a couple rather that came through. Whilst I'm loading that, is there any other questions you've got, Adam, from Twitter or anything like that?
Someone else has just literally loaded in. Shem's put in what's Thurston's derby game, but it's Elmswell. You've said Stanton earlier. Is there any other clubs that you've had a big sort of ding dong with in the past over a few years?
St Ed's, we had massive ding dongs with them. They didn't like it because we were a lot better than them, but they were good battles.
Yeah.
We've got the Cockfield as well. They was in the same league for us. That was another massive derby. But yeah, definitely Stanton for me.
Nice, like it. We have had. I had Nick ask me, who has been your favourite manager to play under?
Horrible question.
What a horrible question. I don't think he's going to be watching this. I'll be all right. But I'm Bendel, so he was managing when I went from sort of like youth to the adult. So he sort of gave me my adult introduction, if you like, at 16. So I've got to give him the I played for, and he had a hell of a team as well. He took, I think, Thurston from the Berry League up to SIL Division 2 or 3, I think. So I think he had about 13 promotions in 14 years or something. Ridiculous.
Crazy.
Jesus.
I've had Michael ask, who is your best mate in football?
My best mate, probably my brother.
Love that.
Like it. I'm just scrolling through some of these now. I've got Jack who asks, if you could redo your career all over again, what would you change and why?
If I could redo it, I'd have stuck with 30 seasons elsewhere. I'd have played on for longer, and then I would have probably got inside with the coaching, managing as soon as I retired, and not had any time away. I think is the way I would have done it.
Nice, like that. Ben has asked, I love this. Team you support and why, and any fights.
Always mentions a fight, does Ben?
He does. Yeah, Dan put on here. Ben loves the fight questions. Yeah. Team. First of all, team.
I'm a Norwich fan.
Yes. Yeah.
How does this always happen?
Get in there, Norwich. The reason why is a bit weird. I had to go to middle school and I needed a new school bag. So we went into the McNeil Sports with my mum. Choose a bag. So I chose a bag. It was green and yellow. Got it down. Had Norwich City written on the side, and I've followed them ever since. So
did they pay you to take that away? Because I doubt any other kid wanted the bloody thing.
There's been a couple. Whoa! What? You been serious?
Of course I am. I'm an Ipswich fan. Can't be dealing with this.
A couple. Oh, I've got to go. See you later. Yeah, there's been a few fights. A couple that I've been involved with, but I think the funniest one for me is we were at home against Brantford Road Old Boys, and this is when they were struggling a little bit. And they had the two twins. I can't think of their names, but one of them was playing, and they had who didn't speak a lot of English, and for some reason, these two lads just started on their own teammate, and the teammate himself, the two got sent off, and the guy who was defending himself, he got yellow carded. And he was like, well, what am I meant to do? The ref completely lost it. He was literally defending himself. The game weren't even going, like trying to break it up. And yeah, he got yellow carded. And we were like, ref, he's just, I think that was the funniest fight I've seen.
Fighting within your own team, it's bad when that happens.
By the way, just an FYI, Dean, if you put some money in the super chat right now, mate, I will read your last comment out, but that's not coming up on the screen, my friend. That is not coming up on the screen. Shem has asked, did you get many call-offs for away games to places like
Wenhaston?
It's been a couple of months.
Wenhaston and South. No, Wenhaston.
Well, I don't know.
Timmy Poo Poo.
Wenhaston
can't speak properly.
What a shit all that place is. Oh, we hated going. That was like an hour and 10 to get over there. What a place that is. The ref actually. This is a true story. The ref was going to book. We were a man short or something, so we kicked off, and I got the ball, and I absolutely launched it, and the ref was going to book me, and like I wasn't captain. I can't remember who was captain. You can't book him for kicking the ball. Anyway, I think it was Adam. He got changed and was on. but he was going to book me over at Wen Aston for kicking the ball too far. What a hole that place is. Don't miss that.
Oh dear me, Ben. Again, I was just about to bring your comment up. If you donate, if you put some money towards the super chat, mate, I'll bring up on the screen. But until then, they're not coming up. But love that. Lee has put on here favorite water bird and why. I don't know what this is referring into. And do you like prosecco?
Oh, it's in Scouse. He's put it in Scouse. I can't read it, so go on to the next one. He's a Scouser and he's our captain. Oh, my word. How can you have a captain who don't speak English?
I had one earlier on, actually, which was quite interesting that came in. I got asked, did Thurston ever have a dodgy linesman, particularly when he used to play against Bardwell? It was like a train was coming because the flag was up for every attack.
Let me guess, is that from Swayze by any chance?
No, that was from Muzzy.
Oh, was it? Yeah, Mickey G was an absolute legend. We used to play with 12 many a week. Many a week, Mickey G went up there. They were never offside. Never offside. Good old Muzzy.
Brilliant. Whilst I'm loading up a few more of my questions, Ben's put one in here. Best Ipswich versus Norwich memory.
Darren Eadie pissing all over John Walk and John Walk getting sent off. Could be the Grant Holt hat trick, but it's got to be John Walk. See him red. See you later.
Do you know what? I've lost count the amount of times I've seen that incident, and even as a Norwich fan, I still can't understand what he got sent off for. I still to this day can't understand it. Like, it wasn't even that bad of a challenge, but the ref was just straight away red. Right, you're off. I was like, what?
Should ask him next time you see him in town, mate.
You're off.
Yeah,
get it sorted.
He lives near me actually. He lives in Walpole, I think.
Yeah, he's not far away at all, is he?
Can we ask Ben what his favourite memory is as well? Like, is it like after not?
The problem with Ben is he's very young, so he hasn't actually even really got many memories of Ipswich v Norwich.
No, I can probably imagine Ben's would be maybe Danny Haynes. I reckon he'll probably answer that.
Christoph Berra saving on the line.
Because other than that, I can't imagine there's a massive amount, to be honest.
No, I can't.
I tell you what, Adam, I'll ask you.
They haven't won nothing, have they?
I'll ask you, Adam. What's your favourite Ipswich versus Norwich memory?
My favourite is just the absolute air kick from Brian Gunn. I find it hilarious every time I watch it still. But it was so long ago. It's just about that's typical of Ipswich. I'm still laughing at something that happened 70 odd years ago. But Ipswich haven't had much to shout about when playing Norwich, have they, for a long time?
No.
And I haven't got a great memory, which doesn't mean those two things pair up very well.
Nothing.
We've done absolutely sod all, and I think it's been many, many, many years since we even got a win against Norwich of any variety. And the closest we came was in a playoff semi-final that we still ended up losing anyway.
Yeah. Well, what a day that was. What a day.
What a day. What a day.
Unless you're on the other end of it.
Yeah, what would be mine? What would be mine? I think mine would actually probably have to be the 4-1 with the Grant Holt hat trick. And the reason why is because the night before I had all of my mates round who were Ipswich fans, and they all stayed around my house so they didn't have to travel up on the day before. So basically they drank the night before, they then woke up and carried on drinking, and they wanted to be in Norwich and not have to deal with the train and the being policed in, etc. And they all had to then come back to my house. And I've never watched a group of people leave as quickly as those lot did when they got back to my house. And they were all standing outside waiting for me as well, which is absolutely brilliant. I loved it. That was probably my favourite memory. We've had loads of people actually getting involved in this. This is brilliant. Dean has made his donation. It's not a massive amount, but it's a donation regardless. So I will read it out.
79.
I think I know what he's done.
Stick your yellow budgie up your ass. There you go, Dean. I've sold myself out again for a little bit of money. My dad is going to absolutely kill me. Honestly, these lockdown restrictions, I need another one imposed because my dad is going to kill me. That's all I'm going to say. Ben has put, Walkie has done nothing wrong. No, mate. Oh, he must have done something. Got to be the 5-0 win, says Dan. Yeah, that's fair enough. Maffey hat-trick, says Dan as well. Megson own goal. Brian Gunn kick. I never thought I'd see this on our show, but I love it. Ben Moore 3-1. Danny Haynes. I knew it was going to be Danny Haynes. Tommy Smith goal on there as well.
Gio running riot. I mean, he's the best player we've had in as long as you can remember. Yeah, and he was never even ours, and he played for about 6 games. Unbelievable player, but what a waste in the end.
And thank you so much, Dean. Here it is, another donation. Absolutely incredible. Here is another amount as a thanks for all you're doing, but you can still stick your yellow budgie up your ass. Dean,
hammer that point home, Dean.
Dean, I absolutely love you, man. Absolutely love that. It's quality. Let's get a couple of other questions up. There are Norwich and Ipswich on here as well. We've had, what was it? Slim has put on here. Are there any plans for ground developments at first? And I suppose probably I wouldn't have thought you guys own the facilities there, do you, or have any say on what happens there?
No. So it's council owned, and we played at the Cavendish since I've been playing, and I reckon for 15 years we've been talking about trying to get a piece of land and getting something like what Walsham have got, with a bar. But it's just getting that bit of land, really. It's proven very, very difficult. There might be a few things in the pipeline, but not that I know. So we'll see. Well, I always got told that I'd play at this facility, and I've never played at the facility. So it's a bit of a pipe dream. It'd be lovely, but I can't see it anytime soon.
Yeah. Dan's followed up by saying you need a fence behind the goal.
James, your parking when we went there last time, just to avoid any instance of the ball hitting the car. I bet there's a few dings, isn't there, over the course of the season?
Surely Daniel should try and get the ball in the goal, though. Then it wouldn't go down the slope.
Straight talking there.
Yeah, my parking that day was questionable. I literally parked. I still don't know how I got in that spot.
It wasn't even a parking spot.
I parked myself in. No, it wasn't, was it? It was like literally in between 2 cars. I had no right to be there, but I was just like, I need to get in this gap. It's like the furthest away possible, but needs must and all that. I've seen what's happened before in previous games there. So.
Oh yeah, Yeah, never park in that car park. None of the players from first ever parked in that car park.
Right. Yeah. We need to figure out where to park for next time, Adam. We need some tips. So talk to me after the show, Terry. We've had Lee, who's put on here, what would Thurston have to do this season for you to sing Live in the Vida Loca at HQ?
God, what's the matter with him?
Of all the songs he could pick, where does that come from? Is this a karaoke favourite?
He's a captain. He's a scouser, and he thinks he can sing. He's going to get some double drills at training, I tell you.
Double sesh this week.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Have you got any other questions? Because I've got a couple in here, Adam. But I'm just trying to get
Live in the Vida Loca going around in my head at the moment. Don't want to sing it just in case we get pulled off YouTube, because that's how it works.
Yeah, unfortunately, they will copyright us. I can't. I'm struggling to load up any of these other questions. I had a couple more on Instagram, but for some reason I can't find them. So I apologize about that. Hang on, let me just try one more. Bear with me. I'm just going to try loading up one more thing. Will be 2 seconds.
Go on.
No, can't find it. Apologies if you did send your questions in on Instagram. The best thing for you to do is actually send it over to me on Twitter.
This way, I don't think this will work. I've just been sent a picture, Terry. I don't know. What's this all about?
That's definitely not my car.
Is that you?
Tell you that much.
Is that actually you though?
That's me on my stag do.
Oh, right, yeah. I just got sent Norwich. Are you sure, Terry?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I ain't gonna be wearing no money in the world.
I was gonna say that one got ceremonially burnt afterwards, did it?
I'm surprised you didn't. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get the other picture of me up with the pineapple
one's interesting. Why? If anyone, I'll show that as well. I don't know if anyone saw my feed earlier.
Why not?
Big pineapple lover?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I mean, I could have got whoops to be honest, but that's all they had was the pineapple, so it just about covered it.
There we go.
God,
it's the fact that it's in that sort of sepia black.
Yeah, I think that was
white.
about 2 weeks. We just want to race.
Well, it's a classy shot. I mean, did it go in any calendars at all, Terry? Or
I was going to say, you've got to explain the backstory to this now.
Yeah. It wasn't just me. We were trying to raise money. So I think this was the Sunday team. Andy Bendel and Ben Carter. We want to raise some money for the club. So I said we'd do a calendar, and we were like, "What?" So one Sunday morning, I think before we played Coldham Hall, we got down there early, stark bike naked, apart from obviously boots and socks. All got something to cover up, and we had different shots taken. And yeah, I got that massive pineapple, but I didn't need that. It was way too big.
Someone else has already taken the kiwi for you.
Yeah, yeah, did the pineapple. And they didn't have it, but yeah, I got that for some reason. Yeah, we sold quite a few. I think we sold quite a few.
Love that. We've had Ben who said he's talking about us singing on Wednesday. I'm guessing obviously this is for the live England watch along on there.
I'm not singing karaoke. Christ, I want people to watch.
Yeah, your best karaoke song. What's your go-to? Terry?
Me, I don't do karaoke.
Good man.
Okay.
It's not for me.
Different to me. Then.
Saying that, I did do on my wedding day. I obviously had a few beers. I did sing Vanilla Ice when it came on the DJ. So
what a debut!
A bit of Vanilla Ice.
Brilliant. I love that. Adam, what would be yours? Everyone in the comment section right now, if you had to sing one at a karaoke bar, what's your go-to karaoke song? I want to get people's up on the screen.
If I had to sing one, it would be Wonderwall, so everyone else would sing and I wouldn't have to bother.
Yeah.
I'm tone deaf.
You see, there's a trick to this. If you want to get out of it, and you want to show that you're a good sport, but you want to get out of it, do tequila, because that's all there is to it. That's a great cop out.
For goodness sake, James! I thought you were more of a sort of party song kind of man.
No,
do Macarena or something like that.
Mine would be Ronan Keating, "Life is a Roller Coaster."
Oh, what tune?
Oh my days! You're not going for Venga Boys or anything like that.
No. Ronan Keating, I'm all over that. Get me on the karaoke bar. If anybody gets me, beyond a certain level of drunk, I'm well up for it. Absolutely well up for it. Lucas put "Ain't no party like an S-Club party." Like it. On here, what have we got? We've got loads of people's stuff on here. Where is it? Dan Barnard, "Losing My Religion," REM. Oh, good tune.
That's a horrifically difficult song to sing.
Yeah, fair play to you for giving that one a crack. Shem has put "World in Motion" every day. Ben, money for Nothing, Dire Straits. I can't say I've heard of that, to be honest, but
tune.
It might be one of those I know if I hear it, but the name.
I think you probably would if it's Dire Straits.
Yeah. Okay. We've had on there Rapper's Delight. Fair enough. Dean, Shaggy, Angel. And he can do the rap. Where was that on the live show, mate? Where was that on the live show, Dean? Or Craig David, Apartment 543. Fair enough. Dan, I'd pay money to listen to that. Yes, I think a lot of people would love to hear me sing. I'd love to hear me sing. We keep those suggestions coming in. Luke, it says your best first in memory.
That's a good one.
Best first in memory. Well, it's my best memory and my worst in the same, if you like. I got made club captain for one of the seasons, and we played over away at Claydon. And I went on a bit of a mazy, and I got fouled. So the best memory is anyway. Went on a mazy, got fouled. So I looked at the ref, and I said, "It's got to be a foul, ref." He went, "No." So I went straight after the guy, took him about waist down, and saw red card. So the best bit was on for the season, and then I got sent off in the same game, which was a bit of a not good. I wasn't captain anymore.
That was it.
That. That was it. Yeah, bit of a loose cannon sometimes.
So best Lee Broster moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's really been one. I mean, he's a centre midfielder and can't pass the ball, so
it's a bit of an issue for someone playing in the middle. See if he's still watching on Twitter and comes and piles in now.
Yeah.
Right. Where was the other one? Toughest striker you've faced?
Toughest striker. It's probably Stanton. Real physical. Real hard. And obviously when it was First and Stanton, they always up their game. So yeah, I think Craig Simpson was the toughest striker I've faced.
There he is. Come past.
No, he looks like Forrest Gump.
Oh, you two are going to get on brilliantly, I reckon. Coaching's going to be a dream.
Ben, the best ref that you've had. That's interesting.
It definitely ain't Herb. Best ref. So Brian Chapman, back I always thought he was always spot on his decision making, but I think he got worse as maybe I got older. I don't really know.
Did he get worse?
I would have said Brian Chapman when I ended. Yeah, it might be that I got worse with the tackling.
I was going to say, did you loosen up a bit?
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, to be fair, Irvy is decent, but I'd say Brian Chapman at the start, but I wouldn't want to say who now.
Fair enough on there. I think we'll wrap things up there because it's been absolutely brilliant. I've had such a laugh with doing all of that. Thank you everyone who's got their questions in tonight. It's been a really, really good show. Thank you so much for coming on, Terry. It's been good chatting to you. I mean, I suppose really the final.
Sorry about the internet.
Yeah, no worries, mate. It's not a problem.
We've negotiated it well. We've been all right.
It's one of those things we can't help it. I suppose we'll kind of ask you the same question that Adam put out earlier on. What are you most looking forward to with football coming back? We'll have that as your final question.
Just getting back down to the Cav, seeing the lads, and I'll be watching the football obviously, but being involved with it now as well, which I just can't wait to get started.
Yeah,
right. That's what we all want.
Good man, love that. Good luck for I suppose the start of the new season, because the rest of it is just enjoying yourself and just getting back into the swing of things. Enjoy yourselves, get yourself all settled in, get your feet under the table, and we'll definitely be coming down at some point next season to see you guys and see how you're getting all on. So good luck with everything, and thanks again for coming on, mate.
Excellent.
Good to see you, mate.
Cheers for having us.
No worries at all. Cheers, Adam. brilliant show tonight. I've absolutely loved it. We end these streams as we, every single time by saying the same thing at the moment. But I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for the support, the love has been incredible over these past few weeks and months. I said it on Twitter in my earlier video. It has been an almighty slog getting to this point. I've had a few moments where I've kind of doubted what I've been doing, and just having you guys there as a support and as a positive and a pick me up has really helped me out over these past few months. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart a massive thank you to everyone who's just been there. Things are now starting to turn around. We've now got football back. We've got fixtures to talk about. The excitement level is starting to build up again. And this is the perfect way of us being able to round up what has been a monumentally crap year. And look forward to the positives, which are the 2021-22 campaign, and one that I'm really looking forward to and excited about getting stuck in. So just a massive thank you, really. Adam, anything else you want to say on that part?
Tax year's coming to an end. Remember to do your ISAs.
For God's sake. For Christ's sake.
Yeah, it's been good, hasn't it? It has been good. I've laughed tonight. It's been funny. Hopefully we can push on and find some rhythm with the results and everything coming back in. We're going to take it all very relaxed, obviously with friendlies being taking place as well, but I want to cover off what people are doing as much as possible and celebrate it. So if you've 100%. Got any reports or anything from friendlies you've been to, send them in to us. Let us know what's going on. And after a couple of weeks' time, I'm sure we'll be able to get even more involved. But this is just like a 2-week-long Christmas Eve now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dean, another Monday night that makes me smile. Great show again, lads, and keep up the great work. You are appreciated and your time and efforts will be rewarded. Thank you so much, mate. Appreciate that. Ben, love this, lads. If it weren't for you, then my weeks would be effing shit. Times have been hard recently, but you lot have made this the best. See you boys on Wednesday for the Free Lions. Yes. Reminder, this Wednesday we are doing a live watch along, England versus Poland. Robert Lewandowski's injured. England are going to win. There's my prediction for you.
I think Poland are going to give us a test.
Nah, they've got their main man out. It's like Tottenham without Harry Kane. It's no point. That's it. They're done. Dan, great show again, lads. Apart from the dodgy needle, joking aside, appreciate being involved. It's great. Keep going, lads. You're doing the best for non-league through this horrible time. Yeah. Like I said, that's all we're here for. That's the reason why we do it. We're here because we love it. We're here because we enjoy it, and we get on with you guys, and we enjoy your interactions, your chats, your stories, etc. So that's the reason why we're here and we're doing it. Cheers, gents. Top show again. Love my Monday, says Shem. Massive thank you to everyone tonight who's put money in towards a super chat. That is massively appreciated.
Very generous.
Very, very generous. And for the free Patreon members that we've had joining the community, is absolutely superb. If you want to help out with the show in any way, merch, whatever the case may be, it's all in the description of this video. Check those links out. That would be massively appreciated. Remember, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you all on Wednesday for the watch along. Until next time, as always, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Adios.